Hello, welcome to this tutorial for the Voice Recording Session Manager. This is a tool that we released a couple months ago on our website, and we wanted to give anyone who's interested a brief tutorial on how to use it. So the intention behind this tool, which is a script that you can use with Reaper, was that as a game audio studio that works notably on voices, whether it's localization project or voice creation projects, we found the process of creating the recording sessions really cumbersome, really time consuming, and prone to errors as well. And at the end of a line, the naming and export would also take a while and also be prone to errors. So we thought of a solution to automate everything, and we came up with this script idea that I will introduce you to today. It works in combination with another script that is free, that is called Notes Reader. It's created by someone named Hedda, and I will link it down below. It's available also as there's a VIP version that you can pay for with different options, but we really do use both. But I encourage you to pitch in if you can. So today I will show you two different cases. First will be a localization project and then a voice creation project, and introduce you to the different features that we have. So let's go ahead with case one. So like I said, this is a case of a localization project. This is just an excerpt from the script of a game called Asphalia Anger, on which we worked a couple years ago. This game was created with English first, and we were tasked with creating the French version. So here I have a bunch of different columns. I have my ideas, my audio references, which is the English here. Obviously it has the same name, the same IDs. My characters, my English lines as a reference, the French ones, which are my target, the mood, which is anything that might give us any indication on how to act these lines, and then some context taken from the script, which is really any indication of what's happening in the script. So you download this as a CSV. I've already done it, so I don't need to do so. And then everything is put into one folder. So here I have obviously my Reaper session, my CSV. You can put it anywhere you like, but it's easier to put it in one. And then in receive file, I have my audio references that are here, and I will import everything in Reaper using the script. So you go into your action list, you look for the script. I will close this so you get a better view. Here everything is already pre-filled because I've used it before. But basically there are a bunch of different options. All the header are the headers of your columns in your CSV, so you need to fill them in so it knows what to import. So here everything is correct. Not everything is mandatory. Obviously ID, line, character, CSV, that's sort of the point, so you need to fill them in. But if you don't have a video here, we don't fit it in. Here we have an audio references, so we're gonna put it in. And what an audio reference does is that it will be the anchor point, the reference for the regions. So the region will not exceed the duration of the English audio here. And this is quite useful because for localization projects, most of the time you need to match exactly the reference that you have. So here, for the export, everything will be at the right duration. And for the recording, you will have a clear picture on the length that you need to match. The script will look into the subfolders as well. So for example, here for audio, I don't need to pinpoint a specific folder. It will look into it, but you can do whatever you want. And yeah, let's import everything. So it is already done. As you can see, it is quite fast. Here we have an output. It would show some errors if there were any, but there's none here. So what do we end up with? As you can see, a bunch of different tracks have been created. Each of our characters now have their own tracks with several items on there. Each of these items represents a line from that character, no more, no less. We have a ref audio tracks, which is our English. And as you can see, the duration, the length of the region matches exactly the one of the reference, which is good. We have a video track, but here we don't have any animation, nor video, nor image, so delete. And then we have a text reader track, which is just dabbling the content, the items you can find on the character's tracks. Why, I will explain to you in a moment, but first, how do you read these items via Notes Reader by Hedda? So you could probably use another script, another tool, but that's what we use. There are many different options, like previewing next item at the end of a current item, colors, fonts. There's a huge community online if you're interested. But basically what it does is that you select a track and you set track to read, and it reads the items. The content of the items are filled according to our CSV, so character, mood, and then the French line. It reads tags as well, depending on the version you're using. And yeah, that's basically it. The reason why we have all of the items double down is because with our workflow, when we record, and I will demonstrate right now, the items on the character's tracks are moved down. I will just give you an example. The mic is not set as an input, but it's just an example. Blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, the script turned red as well, so it's quite useful for your voice actor, so that they know that they can save a line. But as you can see, we've recorded here, and our item has been moved down, which could be fine, but if you want to record several times, like if you want to do it 3 times, for instance, as is quite common with voice recording, you're not seeing the text anymore because the item was moved down. So by only selecting text reader as the track to read, no matter how many times you record, you can see the text all the time. So yeah, that's how we use it. Obviously, the shortcuts we use you do not have, but you could create a bunch of different tracks and group them under its character's tracks, for instance, and then record in lane or whatever you prefer. You could set a pre-roll. There are many different options, but the fact that we are able to automatically create all of these items that matches exactly the duration of the English is just a huge time saver. And to export is just as easy. Let's say we have recorded all of our file. I just go into region render matrix here. I select my tracks under which my recordings have been done. So here I only have Charlie and the first region. I go to render, and here in my file name, if I put $region, it will automatically give to the file the name of the region above, the region that the item is in. And then after, it's that easy, you render the file and the naming is accurate. A huge time saver. So that is how you can use this script for voice localization. I hope it's useful. It's quite flexible once you've generated the session. We will maybe release the shortcuts that we have because they're also useful for selecting items, but that will be for another video probably. So let's go with case number 2. So for case number 2, this is a voice creation project. I will take the example of Outcast: A New Beginning, for which we were tasked with creating voice lines in Agazork, which is a made-up language dating back from the 90s, from the first Outcast game. that was reimagined for the latest game. And here are references were animation files, because we needed to match what was happening on screen already. We had some audio reference, but it was mostly for pronunciation. And then our lines were like this. We had the Agazork line, and then I decided to put the English under so we would know what we were saying. So again, I export everything as a CSV. I go to Reaper, find my CSV importer. So I've already pre-filled everything. But what is interesting here, I would say, is that when you have files that have the same naming but a different extension, for instance, it's better to point to the right folder. Otherwise, it might get confused. So here, for example, I have it's pointing directly at my video animation folder. I'm not going to put the animation here because for now, the script automatically matches the duration, the length of a region with the audio, but here our audio is only for pronunciation, so not that useful for the length. But in the future, we will add the option for you to choose whether you want the audio or the video or the text and apply a percentage to be the reference point, the anchor for the region's length. But for now, it's not really available because we didn't really have the case yet. So then we import. It takes a bit more time because there's more content, but it's still quite fast. And it is done. So same as before, it works in combination with Notes Reader. I'll take this one here. I select my text reader track and I show I need the video as well. And yeah, it works exactly the same way. So as you can see here, the duration of a region really doesn't match the video file. This is normal because all of these animations were not final and the audio would help to finalize them. So the tool was not created with that in mind, but it is definitely something that we want to be able to let people choose for the next versions. So yeah, stay tuned for an update. And then basically it's the same as case one. You record any way you like. We have our own shortcuts. You can do it as many times as you want. And yeah. So that's it for case 2, and that's it for this tutorial as well. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done. We really want people to be able to define the region's length according to their needs, because we think it's the most important. So whether it's the videos one, the audios one, or maybe a percentage of a text, that will probably be the content of our next update for this tool. And if you want to stay posted, you can follow us on Discord. We have a tool channel where any update will be published in the future. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. We'll publish updates there as well. And yes, thank you for following this tutorial. I hope you find it useful and you will be able to use it for your own workflow. Bye.